Hello, and welcome back to Belmont Bunch. Tonight, the Islanders' streak, 9-game winning streak and 12-game point streak comes to an end, and they fall to 0-3 versus the Capitals. They, at the last half of the game, maybe even a little bit earlier into the second, the Capitals looked like the Islanders over the last 9 games. The Capitals, under Peter Laviolette, have looked like a more complete team, a better defensive team. Samsonov is back now. Vitek Vanecek has been fantastic. The Capitals are a problem. And now Ovechkin is getting going in that first line, which has already been playing well, provided all of the goals tonight. So let's get into it. The Islanders came out, played a really good first 20. Shots after the first were 11-7. A lot of high danger chances. And really the story of this one ends up being that the Isles' best sustained period of play, Samsonov just kept shutting the door. There was about 3 minutes in, you get a one-on-one stop on a Brock Nelson wrister. That's a huge save by Samsonov. He had a couple of those in the first. I think he may have gotten a piece of the one that gets thrown to the net by Bailey, and Bo is streaking to the back post, and Bo pokes it over the net on a play. Like, Bo's ice cold. Let's just say it. We'll get to it, but later in the game, he's still doing a good job of like getting the puck deep and chasing after it. But man, the scoring touch right now, it is frozen. It is that ice cold. Well done, Tom. Anyway, so it was nothing after the first, after, a really good period from Samsonov. And in the second, the Isles even started off the period well. They had a chance from Bailey that got stopped. And it all turned on Oliver Wahlstrom makes a move towards the slot, falls or is tripped. It is hard to tell, even watching the replay multiple times before the video. Ovechkin got a stick in there. Either way, the Islanders had 4 guys all the way up the ice, and Pulock is the only guy back, so it turns into a 3-on-1 the other way, and Pulock, I think he maybe thought he had, football terms, safety coverage over the top. I think he thought he had another Islander back. He did not, so he overplayed Ovi. Ovi then puts it on the stick of Kuznetsov, who has a breakaway. He's forced wide by, I think it was Green that eventually got back. It might have been Leddy. And the original shot, Varley might have over committed as well. Everything went wrong for the Islanders on this play. And shot hits the post and is tapped back in. Austin Czarnik had a chance to clear, kind of skated by the net. And it's just the easiest happen in the world for TJ Oshie, and it's 1-0 from there. And the Islanders never got back to their game from there. They had power plays in this game. They had a couple. The first one was horrendous. And their power play at that point was now 1 for 19 in January. So it is fallen apart after a really good February. Ovechkin on a power play. Now this is a big turning point because Barzal, who earlier in the game had a stick broken over his back on a cross-check, probably could have gone both ways, a holding the stick call on Barzal, a cross-check on, I think it was Kuznetsov. Doesn't go either way, so at least it's even, but I actually prefer for them to call both of those. Once a guy breaks the stick over a player's back, even if you're going to call the holding the stick just to even it out, I want that cross-check to be called. So, Barzal gets a cross-check, or does a cross-check of his own, behind the play, didn't, have to do it at all in the offensive zone. And we had 2 O-zone penalties, I think, tonight, and Barzal did that. Ovi scores on the ensuing power play in the exact way that you would guess. Just a ripper from the slot. 2-0. Islanders overcommitted to the strong side, left the weak side open, and that just happens to be Ovechkin's office. So 2-0 there, and they would be able to get through the period, still only 2-0. I think tonight they were missing a little bit of the net front presence that Anders Lee has brought. Bellows has been good while he's been up, That net front presence, I mean, he did tip one in the other day. It was a little bit accidental at the net front, but I think that's still something that obviously isn't as polished as Anders Lee's game in that area. So in the third, early penalty. It is cashed in on a great pass to Backstrom. That's tapped in. It is 3-0. The Capitals played Islanders hockey from there. They just trapped the Isles and made them really work for every inch of ice. And Wahlstrom gets a consolation goal about halfway through the period. Good play from Wahlstrom. Got the first Capitals defender to overcommit because he was coming in with such speed. You'd expect him to just rip that shot. Holds it for a sec, lets the player slide by him. Gets a little bit lucky on a deflection. And it's the only thing that beat Samsonov tonight. And the Islanders from there really didn't get much going. That was a power play goal as well. Although the power play didn't really set it up. It was a little bit fortunate to get there. But Wahlstrom continues to play well. Varley, not a ton he could do tonight. Actually, not really anything. I think maybe overcommits on the first one, but it is a breakaway. So, a lot of failures to get to that point. So the Capitals regain first place based on fewer games played, so better point percentage. And for the Isles, it's not actually as debilitating as Twitter will probably make it out to be tonight. It is probably frustrating for them, to not, first of all, third straight loss to the Caps, but also, they probably want a signature win coming in these next few days, and they get 3 shots against Philly. Although Philly hasn't been playing great, so I'm sure people will move the goalposts again if the Islanders win those games. But, so basically, they just got to get back to what they did in the first period of this game and the beginning of the second period. Barzal being benched for the first 10 minutes of the second period, I'm okay with. He took that really stupid penalty. It basically took the Islanders out of the game. And then on top of that, he created a breakaway for the Caps a few minutes later with some not great offensive zone work. Yeah, he can't commit penalties this often, and at least let them be last ditch. I got to slash this guy, or he's going to score, something like that. I think if it were one of those, he wouldn't be getting, kind of made an example of. But when you cross-check a guy in the back of the neck away from the play, and it creates a goal for Ovi, yeah. So that's it. That's all I got. We'll see you again for 3 straight Philly games. And we have the podcast that we film tomorrow. You'll see it Thursday. And, we have a guest this week as well. And, exciting stuff. Hopefully the Islanders can make it more exciting. But we'll see. So that's it from Belmont Bunch. We'll see you next time.